This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Good afternoon and welcome to the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Jenabeth Gunter.
And I'm Katelynne Newman. Last night, Texas Congressman Randy Nagelbauer hosted a special ceremony honoring Texas Tech's Chancellor Kent Hans. As you know, Hans is retiring, and during the proceedings, fellow congressmen praised the Chancellor's achievements. Here's a look at the emotional-filled special order.
When Chancellor Hans was first appointed to be the third Chancellor of Texas Tech University, his motto was "Dream no little dreams." And I think this is a perfect motto for the Chancellor to use because that's really expresses the way he has lived his life.
Under Kent Hans's tenure, Texas Tech set new student enrollment records and research expenditures have almost tripled. It so happens that I have more Red Raiders in my D.C. office than graduates of any other college, so I know the quality of students who come from Texas Tech.
Kent Hans was headed for a life of crime and waywardness before he attended Texas Tech University. Texas Tech would not be Texas Tech would not be where it is today without Kent Hans, but Chancellor Hans wouldn't be who he is today without having attended Texas Tech in 1961.
Watching from a distance, I can say that Mr. Hans did the things that all leaders are called to do. He served with honor, with distinction, but he made tough choices when they're called on.
On one particular occasion, I'd had a political setback and I was really down. And I was kind of moping around my house in Ennis, Texas, and one morning about, I want to say it's about 9:30, my cell phone rang and it was Kent Hans. And I'll never forget that.
It's been my pleasure tonight to recognize a good friend, a great American, a great Texan, and a great Red Raider. Go Tech.
The Relay for Life of Texas Tech has moved locations. The event is usually held on Memorial Circle, but because of construction, it has moved to Urbanovsky Park across from the Media and Communication Building. Kickoff starts at 6 p.m. this Saturday, and the relay will last until 6 a.m. Sunday morning. The online donations keep coming in. And as of this morning, Texas Tech has raised over $42,000. You can get the latest updates by visiting the Tech Relay for Life Facebook page. TTU Outpost will also be covering the event on social media platforms. The Glassdoor reported Texas Tech as the #1 university employer. Reporter Emily Pellegrini talked to several university employees to find out what makes working at Tech a great experience.
The jury is out, and Texas Tech comes out on top.
A Glassdoor report released last year ranks Texas Tech as the #1 university employer based on employee feedback about coworkers, working environments, opportunities for growth, and overall job satisfaction.
Texas Tech received an overall rating of 4.4 out of 5, beating out all other university employers in the nation. Macy Lane, with Human Resources and Talent Acquisition, discusses qualities the university looks for in top-notch workers.
A good attitude, customer service skills, and good motivation. But we have so many different types of positions that there's so many different qualifications that would meet our needs.
Texas Tech employs over 6,000 workers, many of whom think fellow co-workers are the best part of their jobs. Graduate Assistant Megan Presteman says Texas Tech staff really cares about the school and their students.
The thing I love most about being an employee at Tech is that the camaraderie. Everyone's kind of in this for a greater purpose. We're about the students and about education, and it's not just money or a job. It's like there's a real purpose to what you're doing.
And that camaraderie means more to some students than a paycheck ever could. Ashley Brentley, a student assistant with Red and Black Financial Services, says a campus job is a great way to give back.
I'm a fourth-generation Red Raider, and being here and being able to work for this place and help the students and help, the whole Tech community is just a wonderful experience.
And starting at Texas Tech could lead to great things. Courtney Natonik, an intramural supervisor at the Rec Center, says her job at Texas Tech could help propel her future career.
It definitely helps me because I want to be a teacher and I want to be a coach, and it's fun seeing like that other side because I've been a player, I've been an athlete, but now I get to see what a ref is like, what a supervisor is.
President Nellis, very proud of the university's honor, wrote a statement that reads, "Texas Tech University faculty, staff, students, alumni, and the Lubbock community embody the warm, welcoming spirit for which West Texas is known. Our people work hard and are compassionate in their areas of work to ensure ultimately we foster an environment that encourages scholarship and learning. I've been here almost a year in Texas Tech University, and the people have exceeded my expectations. It's important, vital really, to encourage faculty and staff interaction, discussion, and feedback. We want to hear from our faculty and staff and offer them opportunities to contribute on a more global scale within the university. I already had an overwhelming positive impression of Texas Tech from an academic standpoint, and I'd heard many great things about the people. As expected, it has not disappointed and has truly been a wonderful experience. Just another honor for Texas Tech to add to their list of achievements. For MCTV, I'm Emily Pellegrini.
The 40-day religious observance, Lint, is almost over with Easter right around the corner. Reporter Nicole Moulter caught up with some students on campus to see what they think about Lint and if they're keeping their commitment.
No, this is my first time participating in Lint. I've always known about it, grown up around it. I've just never had any means to partake in it, and I just decided to do it this year because I don't know, I just want to have a closer bond with God, and you know, one of the ways to do it is to give something up and then have a like controlled type of struggle to depend more and grow more with Him and for Him.
I think especially for people who live in 2014, everything happens so fast. Everything is instantaneous and right at your hands, and you can do it and be done with it and move on. And taking 40 days to really focus yourself on something centers you in a way that we don't get to do a lot. So I think the benefit is just kind of meditating on something that's important to you and important to your faith.
I gave up chicken, pork, and beef. And this coming from a guy whose diet primarily consisted of those three main food groups, it is incredibly hard. But I mean, after about the first 2 weeks of it, it became easier, and my body wasn't craving it as much. And then I don't know, it was just an experience, but it definitely brought me closer to God.
It's Thursday, and I don't know about you, but I'm definitely ready for the weekend.
Me too. Let's take a look around campus at the Girls Rising event that has been going on all week. Eli Fierro is reporting live on the event from the Wallgates lobby. Eli, who do you have with you?
Well, Jenabeth, we have Gabrielle Keys, who is the coordinator of the Girl Rising event, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about what this event is about.
Girl Rising is about 9 females in an international setting, and it's about their story and their struggle for education in their own home countries. And it really focuses on how we as students here in the United States, as females, we take for granted a little bit how easy it comes to get education here as opposed to other countries.
And you mentioned to me earlier a little bit about that you're going to be talking about your story at this event.
I'm going to talk about my own struggle and my own personal history of trying to get education. I'm a senior this year, thankfully, and I'm going to be graduating in May. And so it's been very hard for me to be here at certain times. And so I really want to share that story and share, just because they have it bad in international countries does not mean that we as females here in America don't also have issues that we have to face in obtaining our education.
And behind us are a few posters that y'all have been putting up every single day. Can you talk a little bit more about these posters?
These are our posters that our CAs created. They picked something that they wanted to do, and they wrote about it, and they put up amazing presentations that explains the different issues. So we have Meet the Women CEO of the Fortune 500, and it's really interesting to see their expressions when they discovered some of the things that they discovered. Like there's 500 people on the Fortune 500, but there's only a little bit of women in that group, and so we're making strides, but it's definitely a long way.
Yeah. And what is the ultimate goal of this event?
The ultimate goal is to show we need to do better as women, supporting each other in finding our education, in finding who we are, finding our independence, and really focusing on how we can be powerful through our education and how we can become leaders through that, and how we should use those opportunities to really uplift each other and form a coalition of people who support each other.
So basically you're trying to get girl power out there.
Girl power all the way. And with the women's conference next week, like, we definitely wanted to do our own spin of things here at Wallgates.
And when is this event going to be taking place?
It is going to be tomorrow on the 11th at 7 o'clock p.m. in the Wallgates lobby. We're going to have pizza, and we're going to do a nice little after discussion if people want to stay after the movie and the film. So it's going to be a really great time, and we just hope people show up and watch it and really have open discussions.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of fun and empowering. Okay, well, as she mentioned, this will be at the Wallgates lobby at 7 p.m. tomorrow evening, and there will be pizza and all that great stuff, and it's open even to the public, so you don't need no student ID or any form to get in, correct?
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Yeah, and so we'll send it back to you guys in the studio, to Jenabeth and Katelynne. So.
Thank you, Eli. Well, Texas Tech Opera only performs once a year, and they sung their hearts out at the performance of the Coronation of Poppaea this weekend. Reporter Kiera Powell has more on the event.
Over the weekend, the music department at Texas Tech took on the challenge of bringing a story created in the 1600s to modern-day audiences. The Coronation of Poppaea, which centers around the adulterous liaison between the Emperor Nero and his love, Poppaea.
I'm the Emperor Nero, and Nero is married to Ottavia, but he wants the throne to be Poppaea's because she wants the throne to be hers. But it really is set in such a way that the gods and goddesses manipulate the story. So it all looks like Cupid did it in the end.
Professor Ankrum wasn't the only person taking on a character of the opposite sex. The practice of gender swapping in opera, so to speak, started long ago.
Back in the early days, they would have had what they called castrati, which would be men who became eunuchs when they were young. They sacrificed their manhood for the vocal art that was going to happen on stage. They mutilated these young boys. They don't do that anymore, thank goodness. But the art form remains, so those roles are now taken over by women.
The cast made performing look effortless, but for Nero, playing a member of the opposite sex didn't come without its fair share of challenges.
A man's center of gravity is lower, or higher, actually, a man goes higher, gestures are different. And of course, then there's the fact that I play a lot of this role against a woman, and so it's just, it's a different kind of energy.
The Coronation of Poppaea was part of the music department's annual opera series, an effort that takes a lot of hard work and tons of dedication.
These students really know how to sing, and not only that, but they can communicate their characters too.
I want them to take away the fact that opera is fun and it's really entertaining.
For MCTV, I'm Kiera Powell.
Also in the spotlight is Texas Tech's chess team. The team competed in the Final Four of chess and won 3rd place. This is the first finals win since the previous chess coach, Susan Polgar, suddenly quit in 2012. Ironically, Polgar's team from Webster University faced Tech in the final match of this year's President's Cup. The Webster team took 1st place with teams from the University of Maryland and the University of Illinois, taking 2nd and 4th place, respectively. Congratulations to the Texas Tech chess team.
The weather just keeps getting warmer, and it seems like everyone is heading out to the pool this weekend.
They sure are. Our weather specialist, Carly Smith, has all you need to know about the weather for the week. Carly?
Hey guys, yeah, the weather feels great outside, but right now I am here also in the Wallgates lobby where the event of the Women's Rising will take place. But as far as the weather goes, today looked great. We could break a record if our high temperature reaches 93. I'm not sure if that'll happen or not with a cold front coming through. Right now it looks like it should come through around 7, but you just never know out here in West Texas. And so as we take a look at tonight's forecast with that cold front coming through, it looks like lows won't drop too much. They will be in the 50s and mostly clear skies with northerly winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow the high won't be quite as high at 83 degrees with mostly sunny skies and still northeasterly winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour. As we take a look at our 3-day forecast, you'll see that Saturday looks warm again with highs possibly climbing into the 90s and partly cloudy skies, especially in the morning, but probably once again no rain like was forecasted earlier in the week, and southwest winds at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Sunday there is a Pacific cold front coming through, but with that cold front there will be a dry line this time, and it looks like Lubbock is going to stay on the dry side of that line, with the high climbing into the 70s and the low in the 50s with north winds at 15 to 25 miles per hour, so a little gusty on Sunday. As we take a look at our regional travel graphic, you'll see that for Austin, Dallas, and Houston, their highs are slightly cooler than Lubbock in the 70s and 80s with partly cloudy skies both days. And once again, on Sunday, those areas will have be on the moist side of that cold front. So it looks like they have at least a 40% chance of rain, while back here in Lubbock, it doesn't look so likely. And so also on Monday, there is even a possibility for freezing temperatures in the morning. Ladies, back to you.
Thank you, Carly. Rumors about the tech tunnels which lay beneath our feet have lingered among students for decades.
Hub reporter Evan Dixon finishes his two-part investigation by asking the question everyone wants to know. What is really in those tunnels? Take a look.
This here is what we call the Wiggins Tunnel.
Benny only showed us one of the newer tunnels underneath campus.
Y'all are kind of getting to see more of the Cadillac stuff.
Most of the tunnels, he says, are more narrow and not well ventilated.
The tunnel system carries all utilities for the campus. Your chilled water, your steam for heat, your compressed air, your fiber optics.
So this is where the chilled water goes out to campus, Bill Hub right here, and then down here is where the water comes back into the cooling plant and is recooled, sent back out through this pipe.
Pipes tie the steam and chilled water into each building.
Now, this tie-in is telling us it's at the Aquatic Center.
In the summer, the chilled water is used to air condition the 90-plus buildings on campus.
You know, we use the steam for mostly comfort heat, building heat, humidification, buildings that have autoclaves and stuff for experiments and science, you know.
Before Benny kicked us out of his tunnel,
why don't we go back, like I say, because
we asked him the unanswered question. Where are the ghosts?
What have you heard?
I've heard the same story.
Yeah? What kind of stories?
Well, like I say, they claim there's ghost stuff down here, but...
You ever seen any?
No. I haven't.
Or maybe Benny was just anxious to get out of there, you know, in case there really are ghosts. Reporting from the now not-so-secret passages of Texas Tech, I'm Evan Dixon for The Hub at TTU.
Well, that's all for the Thursday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Be sure to check out ttuhub.net every day for more news. Have a great weekend.